She may have paperwork. Let ICE call ICE over.
Call ICE?
Yeah,
Okay,
call
ICE. I have paper. Call
Yeah,
ICE.
okay, call ICE.
Call ICE. Un pastor de la iglesia New Chelo Missionary Baptist Church, es de call the ICE. Okay, espérate. Call. He sent me call ICE.
That's okay.
He sent me call ICE and the Chinese men.
This despicable video shows a pastor threatening to call ICE on a woman outside of New Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church in the San Diego, California area.
You guys, I am live from the Missionary Baptist Church here on K Street in San Diego with the pastor who also does custodian work. He was doing some spray painting out here. And this man was involved in an altercation just the other day with a Mexican woman. He made some comments that the Latino community and many of us felt offended by. And so is there anything that you'd like to say to the Latino community about your remarks that you made about calling ICE?
Yes, I would like to apologize for using that trigger word. And there's not a racist bone in my body. We have a Hispanic ministry here, and that Hispanic ministry that worship at this building, they are the one that beautified this building. They are the one that takes care of this building, and they were here before I got here. And I apologize for using that trigger word, ICE. I hope that everyone will forgive me for using that word. It's a trigger word, and I should have never used it.
Here was his statement and apology to official Arturo on TikTok. He claims to not be a racist, that he doesn't have a racist bone in his body, and that he values the communities being affected. Arturo would ask with the caption, "Do you accept his apology?"
The pastor and that Korean, they drunk and the lady is very stubborn. She's very stubborn, and they're not going to leave. And that's when the pastor just said, "Call ICE," and then they left.
And why would the pastor say that? A man of God. A man of God that preaches God. The word of God.
Don't try to over-justify it. Don't try to over-justify what you're saying. You're a reasonable person.
I am. I'm a human being.
You know good and well that minister wasn't going to call ICE. That was them.
Threatening. He's threatening the family of calling ICE.
No. It was. They was out there drinking. They was all sitting on crates.
It don't matter. They could have been laying on the floor, and your pastor spreading the word of God says, "I'm gonna call ICE."
No, the pastor went out there and de-escalated it.
By saying he's gonna call ICE, he de-escalated it,
and everybody went on about their business.
But the principle is your pastor said he was going to call ICE on people.
No, you didn't see the whole video. This was going into a very
this just ruined the reputation of your church. Nobody's going to see you as a word of God no more.
I didn't pass know that, but you need to, hey, you know what? You need to get on that TikTok and say it was taken out of context.
It was definitely not taken out of context. Cause anybody that tells them that you're gonna call ICE shouldn't be a pastor, sir.
And you a woman of God.
And I am, and I know your pastor ain't, cause he has no concern out of the community, out of other people.
If you go on that pastor media, social media, you see every post he makes is criticizing what the clown doing up in the White House. He just every post.
But he's right with him. He told him he's gonna call ICE. He's right with him.
Meanwhile, this appeared to be the same pastor on the phone that said call ICE to the Spanish-speaking woman. Maybe, and I mean just maybe.
The message of Jesus was never about wealth or power or exclusion or supremacy of any kind. Jesus is the one constantly bringing people in, reaching out to the neighbor in care, welcoming the stranger, and especially those who have been left out or marginalized. I've been a pastor for 34 years, and I'm the director of the Faith Community Initiative. I've been fortunate for the last 12 years to be the pastor of a community in Chicago that has a deep history of working on and toward justice and equity. I've always had a passion for and a commitment to wanting to be a good advocate and ally for immigrant communities. One of the most troubling things that has been happening over time, culminating in the creation of Project 2025, has been the claim by the religious right that they somehow know the will of God, and that the will of God is to exclude literally every person who is not white, straight, and Christian.
He could take a page out of Reverend Dr. Beth Brown of Chicago's playbook because
we've been able to help many families. I began realizing that my congregation could be at risk for having ICE agents come and try to do something related to our families. So I decided to put together a training for my congregation on what would happen if ICE agents approached our church building or tried to come inside. We were able to do some visual signs and put them up around the church so that people would remember what steps to take if that happened. I think I trained over 300 people in faith communities across the country. Those 300 people were also then able to go out and train other people, whether it was their own congregations or neighbor congregations, so that every congregation would understand that they also have rights and that there are things that ICE agents can do and not do as long as we have a constitution. And it has been so effective that even the so-called border czar himself said it was impossible to make much progress in Chicago because too many people know their rights.
Sanctuary cities are making it very difficult to arrest the criminals. For instance, Chicago, very well educated. They've been educated how to defy ICE, how to hide from ICE.
And that has been a source of real pride here in Chicago. We stand together, we stand strong, and we absolutely know our rights.
what she is doing is the model for many others.
21 people were arrested after leaving the designated protest zone and trying to walk into the streets towards the ICE facility. Many of the people arrested were pastors and other faith leaders who tell me they were trying to provide spiritual care to the people detained in the Broadview ICE facility, and they want the detainees released and the facility closed. I spoke with Pastor Michael Wolf, who was arrested at Broadview yesterday, and he tells me he's spoken to people inside that have been detained who describe conditions as deplorable. He says the protesters are not out-of-towners like some officials have said, and that they weren't being violent, but police were.
It's horrific when someone gets injured, but could it perhaps be that you got injured striking protesters, which is what I saw? I want the governor to watch the video of me getting slammed to the ground by the Illinois State Police. I want him to say that that's what he wants the Illinois State Police to be spending their resources on.
Pastor Michael Wolf would also show way more courage than the first man we saw in this piece as well. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYT Sports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.